I'm Jim Schmidt. Today I'm going to show you how to install and adjust these flat slide carburetors. The first thing you want to do is check that the slide is just cracked open about 20 thousandths of an inch on the bottom. It's important that each carburetor is the same. That way you can synchronize them more easily. Install your throttle. Then check that you have enough slack in your upper cable. Then go to your lower cables, and each should have about 1/16 of slack. And they should both be the same to synchronize the carburetors. The way to check that is take up the slack by lightly turning the twist grip and see if each cable is the same. There should be no slack. Adjust as necessary. Watch out for cable binding. Right here where the cables come out of the carburetors, if this curve is too tight, the cables will bind, and then when you shut off the twist grip, the idle won't settle down. So if you have that problem, do whatever you can to make this curve more gradual. There should be plenty of room on commandos to get a gradual curve here to avoid binding. Okay, we're ready to start it. I'm going to show you how to adjust the mixture screws. Now these mixture screws let in air, not fuel. So the more you open them, the more air you let in, the leaner it gets. The more you close them, the richer it gets. Now give it a little more throttle, keep it running. Right now the screw's all the way closed. Idle's rough. Now open it up. On 8th turn, and here it's starting to smooth out. On a 1/4 turn, still smooth. Half turn, 1 turn. Starts to get rough again. Turn it back. Back to about a 1/4 turn. Starts to smooth out. I'm going to leave it right there. This is the idle speed screw. Sounds fine where it is, so I'm going to leave it. Rev it up and it settles back down to an idle. Sounds good. Now your idle jets affect more than just the idle. They also affect the entire mixture of the carburetor. Also, if you notice, you screw your mixture screw way out to lean it, but the idle won't slow down. That also means your idle jet is too rich. On the other hand, if you screw it all the way in and your idle won't slow down, that means your idle jet is too lean. Now for your main jets, you're going to have to do a wide open throttle run, shut the engine off, put it in neutral, coast to a stop, pull out the plug and look at the color. It should be a nice tan, gray color. Now today's fuel can burn so clean because it has alcohol for some other reason. You're going to have to buy some aviation fuel or some racing gas. Go out and do your speed run, your plug chop, look at your plug color. Most of your riding is done at partial throttles, and the partial throttle mixture is controlled by the needle. So you remove the needle from the slide, pull off the clip with the pliers. If you raise the clip to a higher notch, the needle is lowered and the mixture becomes leaner. If you move the clip to a lower notch, the needle is raised and the mixture becomes richer. You want your spark plugs to run a nice chocolate brown color or tan gray color. You got to adjust your clip to get the color that you want. Now you might have to move the clip more than 1 notch to get where you need to be, or you might have to move it all the way from one end to the other. So if you're cruising down the road in 4th gear and the bike starts to stumble, stutter, miss, especially if you're lugging the motor, then it's too rich and you need to lower the needles. On the other hand, if it's popping out the exhaust pipes, farting, spitting back, and gasping, dying, that means it's too lean. You need to raise the needles. Now the needle goes inside this brass needle jet. If you've adjusted the needle clip all the way to either the top or the bottom and you've run out of adjustment and you still don't have the right mixture, then you have to change the needle jet. Remove the carburetor bowl, take a wrench and screw this housing that holds the main jet. Then you take an 1/8 inch diameter wire, insert it through the carburetor so it locates in the center of the needle jet. Then you take a light hammer and tap it out. Now get a larger or smaller needle jet, whatever you need. Put it back in the hole. You need about a 3/16 diameter shaft, a little larger than that 1/8 inch wire you used before. Make sure your needle jet is started in the hole that it's supposed to go in. Tap it back in place. Put the main jet housing back in.